Hi guys, J-Mac here from BBC's Globe Season 2, and today I'll be showing you how to create this Frankenstein Pride makeup look for the 2020 Digital Pride with MCM Comic Con. So this year's Digital Pride with MCM Comic Con is to help support the Switchboard LGBT helpline for Pride Week. It's a safe space for anyone to talk and discuss about anything, be it your sexual health, your sexual well-being, your gender identity, and it's so important more than ever that we come together and we express inclusivity for the global LGBTQIA+ community. So this is going to be the finished look for the makeup tutorial that I'll be sharing on MCM's channel as part of their 2020 Digital Pride Festival. Okay, so getting straight into it. I'm using the flat edge of a plastic card and I'm using some black eyeshadow and a fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I'm just fanning out the black eyeshadow just to get a really sharp edge to my black smoked out drag wing. And afterwards I'm going to just press a little bit of a bluey green reflectant glitter because I really want to make sure I have that highlight for underneath the brow popping. Next I'm going into where I've created a new cut crease and I'm just adding some glitter gel liner onto the cut crease to make sure that, again, the colour is just popping and I have that new crease really shiny. I'm now going in with a dark green eyeshadow and I'm going to combine this with another black shadow to make sure that I'm just getting a nice colour gradient from the corner of my eye crease into that new drag smoky liner. So I already have the white base down and blocked my brows for the right side of my face where I'm going to be doing a pink purple coloured eye cut crease makeup, and I just go in with a really refined smudging brush and I start mapping out the dark purple colour, and the purple colour is going to help create the new eye crease. So essentially it's a drag inspired cut crease, and then I go in with kind of a fluffier smudging brush with a really light fuchsia pink colour, and I just start blending that light pink colour on top of where I've laid down the purple. So eventually I'm going to have a purple to pink gradient cut crease. And I go back in with a larger fluffy brush. Again, I'm just smoking out the vibrant purples and pinks. I do go back in again with the purple colour because I really want to make sure that that colour is properly placed down. And then bit by bit in small dabbing motions with my refined smudging brush, I'm just going back in and I'm making sure that I just have a nice little colour blend between the purple and the pink. Okay, so next I'm going to go in and create the cut crease. So I get a white concealer base and I actually use a really flat end lip brush. It's nice and small and I like to use it as a brush to apply the concealer. So I'm now refining the cut crease and I'm going in just little dabbing motions to get that sharp line. Then I go in and I even out the concealer base. And again, I'm just doing it in light dabbing motions to make sure that that line is sharp. And then I'm going in with a purple reflectant glitter. While the concealer base is still wet, it'll help the glitter stick to my eyelid. And that's going to, like the green side, just give a nice colour pop, a nice glitter reflectant. And I want it to be the same colour as the pinks and purples, so there's a nice little purple shimmer off it. So now I'm adding some yellow eyeshadow, and I'm just doing that at the start of the bridge of my nose and then working my way out to create a little bit of a colour gradient from the pinks into where I have the white highlight for my new drag brow. And then I'm going in and I'm just refining the pink colour and the purple shades, and then I'm adding some pink reflectant glitter as a little shimmer to the new eyebrow space I've created. And then once I have that with a flat concealer brush just spread out over the new eyebrow area, I'm going in with my black thin liner, and I'm just defining that crease edge, and then I'm winging out with black eyeliner the wing, and then I'm going in from the inside of the top of my eyelid, from the tear duct along my upper lash line. And I like to do this in small motions just because of the detail and all the colours. I don't want to mess it up by doing one quick continuous line, and in case I didn't get the size of the liner right, that's why I like to go in small edging motions. And then with my smudging brush, I'm going to just add a little bit more of that pink and purple accents to help again give a colour smoked out wing. So I'm using the same techniques, just different colours for my left eye on my right eye now. And I'm just defining again the liner shape with my smudging brush, and I'm just adding an extra bit of black because because for my drag style, I like to do large wings. And there we have the 2 eyes done. Okay, so next I'm going to do the base, and I'm starting on my left side using the green, and this is the base for the Frankenstein makeup. So I go in with just a broad flat paintbrush. These are all grease paints. I'm using kind of yellow toned green today, and I'm just making sure that I've applied that to the areas that I want that color. And then I'm going in with the next highlight, which I actually will be using yellow. Oh yeah, before that I have a buffing brush, and I'm just making sure that I really have that green worked in. And then after I've blended out the green, I'm then going in with the yellow highlight. So I go underneath the eyes, onto the cheekbone, just above the brow, and my color gradient is green, yellow, and white. So I'm using the white right against the liner just to get that sharp contrast, a little bit on the bridge of my nose and above where I'm going to draw my new eyebrow shape. And then I use a little bit just underneath where I'm going to make a new cheek shape. So I just get my brush under the lip, there we go, underneath the cheek, and then I'm going to blend. And I'm going to use a beauty blender just to make sure that I've really blended in those 3 colors, and just make sure that it's really nicely worked in together, and it'll create the color of the skin tone I want for the Frankenstein look. I'm also using a smaller beauty blender just to blend out the smaller color details, just where I wanted that tiny slice of white highlighter underneath the new cheek contour that I'm creating for the look. Okay guys, so now I'm going in with my large powder puff, and I'm using a translucent powder which will help set the colors. The colors that I'm using are grease-based paints, so what translucent powder does is help lock in the colors, and this technique is called baking. So baking is when you set colors that are grease paint with powders. I'm using a lighter white translucent powder for the highlight areas because there is a little bit of a color payoff that can be a little bit creamy or white with both the powders. So for me personally, it's important to make sure that I use 2 different powders and I wait 10 minutes. Okay guys, now we're going in and doing the pink side. So essentially the only difference with my right side compared to the left is that I'm actually just using a pink base color, and I'm using the same gradient going from pink to like a yellow creamy highlight. So I make sure I just do my shoulder, chest, neck and cheek and forehead area in pink, and then I'm going back in and I'm just buffing the pink out to make sure I'm really getting it into the skin, that there's no patchy areas. And then afterwards I use another flat paintbrush and I go in with a yellow and creamed highlight color, and I'm very much just doing the same steps I did on the left side, just with different colors on the right hand side. Using a beauty blender, I'm just making sure that I'm blending out the colors so that there's no kind of blocked harsh lines, and they all really do kind of blend into a nice gradient of these like pinks, yellows and whites. And once again, the same technique of baking with translucent powder on the right side of my face and the shoulders and neck. And I have 2 different powders again. I have a lighter white powder that goes underneath the eyes and the bridge of my nose. And I wait to make sure that the powder's set in. So making sure that I cover every area. And once I have every area done, I'm going to brush off the excess powder on the left side where I'd set the green. So I'm going in with dark green eyeshadow to just exaggerate the contours to give my character more definition. And then I'm using a really vibrant yellow eyeshadow for underneath the eyes where I have the highlight. Again, this is kind of keeping in line with the Frankenstein color scheme. And I'm using a small blending brush just to help define some nose contour. And afterwards, I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. And then when I have that finished, I'm just going to add a little bit more dark green. And then I'm going to do the right side and do my eyebrows. So I've done the color on both sides, my vibrant pinks and greens and yellows. I've done my brows and I've just popped in some eye contacts because I feel for me, it really kind of like elevates the animation of the look. And I've just sprayed on some water onto a kind of a wine colored aqua paint. I'm using a dry seaweed sponge for texture, and I'm just stippling on this wet purpley wine coloured paint down the centre of my face where I kind of mapped out where the two colours clash. And the idea of stippling on with a now wet seaweed sponge, it just gives more of a speckled kind of like stamp. And I'm using a thin brush to kind of create some lines that help give like going from one character to the next like more motion. I feel this creates a little bit more movement. I just didn't want to have like a straight down the line split between two characters. And yeah, this is a certain technique that I like to use. I've always loved body art and face painting. And then I'm just adding a few more purple coloured lines onto the Frankenstein of my face. And then I'm going to go in with a aqua-based pure white. Again, I just use a spray to dampen the white. And then I use a firm toothbrush, an old hard toothbrush, and I'm just stippling on some of the white. Again, the white is like, the white speckles I feel just give me a little bit more of like a magical, mystical element. I add a little bit to the green side, and then just to kind of like work with the lighter colours, I'm adding a white heart with some white swirly lines onto the right hand side of the pink makeup that I've done. And it's just to kind of help give more motion. I like to give it some mystical design. And then I'm going in again on the right side to now create what will be like the stitch work that really kind of, you know, sells the Frankenstein fantasy. Okay, so now I'm going to use a black eyeliner pen and I'm going to use that to create the stitching effect. And you can see I also use, when the black dried, white aqua paint again, and that really helps create a 3D effect for the stitching. Now it's time to go in and do lips. So to really make sure I'm using all the colours of the pride flag, I wanted to go in with a blue wet drying matte lipstick, and I'm just outlining larger lips. So I'm going over the edge of my natural lip shape just to kind of like, you know, have my lips look a little bit more feminine, give it more like just a drag alter ego effect. And then because it's pride, honey, we want some glitter. I'm going to pop some blue glitter reflectant on the lip while the liquid lipstick is still wet before it fully dries matte, and bam, we can just see that really pops. I love a bit of glitter. I'm not shy to use it for this look. And then I'm just stippling on some more of the purple paint. I want kind of the lip to kind of peel away a bit, adding some finesse details with some white speckling paint again. I love this to kind of be very adventurous. I'm not holding back. I think the key with creative makeup is don't be shy, you know, have fun with it as well. This is all just fun to do. Pop a wig cap on, some lashes and my black wig, and bam. There we are. This is my Pride inspired Frankenstein look for this year's MCM Comic Con Pride Online Festival. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and thank you so much. So guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for having me, MCM Comic Con. Make sure you guys look up and make sure you donate to the Switchboard LGBT helpline. And if you guys want to see more of my makeup, you can follow me at jmac_MUA on Instagram and on TikTok, and on Facebook at jmacmakeup. And make sure to tune in to Glow Up Season 2 on BBC iPlayer, 7 PM on Thursdays.